Brilliant. Okay, well, we might as well make a start. I think we've still got a couple of people joining, but we'll make a start anyway. So just to run through a couple of housekeeping points, just so that everybody is muted apart from the panel. There is a Q&A function at the bottom of your screen, so feel free to drop any questions into there throughout the webinar. We have got time allocated at the end to answer any questions that come through, so please feel free to drop anything in. And just say we are recording the session and we will circulate to all registered attendees afterwards. So that's that really. Okay, so welcome to our webinar, The Power to Choose Your Own Hours. We'll be explaining today the role of an alcohol and drug collection technician. When we recruit for technicians, we actually get a lot of interest in our roles, but people say they aren't quite sure what the role is, what it entails, if they have the right skills, etc. So we thought we'd try something new and put a webinar out there just covering all of these points to hopefully help you decide if the role is right for you. Okay. So just to introduce the panel. So firstly, myself, I'm Joanne Hughes. I'm the Operations Director here at Hampton Knight. I've been in the industry for just over 15 years and I oversee all the operational delivery teams, including our testing network. We've got Sam, who is our Network and Compliance Manager and has been with Hampton Knight for 10 years. Sam and her team manage the network of collection technicians across the UK, including the recruitment, training and onboarding of the technicians out in the field. We've also got Denise, who has been with Hampton Knight for 14 years, previously as a trainer for the company before retiring and becoming a collection technician some 5 years ago. Denise is based up in the Lincolnshire area and will be giving us an insight into a typical week as a collection technician, so that will be quite interesting to see that. And finally, last but not least, we've got Sylvia, who's part of our people team. Sylvia is our dedicated HR contact for the network and we'll be covering all HR elements today and we'll be on hand to answer any questions at the end, again relating to HR. Okay, so just to give a quick summary of what we're looking to achieve today. So the aim of the session is to keep it informative but simple. We'll try not to use too many technical jargon to keep it kind of simple. So we'll be covering a little bit about Hampton Knight, who we are, our journey and where our aims are for the future. What is a collection technician and what training is involved if you were to become a technician. We'll also give a bit of an oversight of our collection network as we stand here today. And as I've just mentioned, Denise will be giving us an insight into what it is actually like to be a collection technician out in the field. Okay, so just to explain a little bit about Hampton Knight really. So we were established in May 2000 as a specialist provider of workplace alcohol and drug testing services. Our services include everything from training, policy development, product sales, and also our testing network. We focus purely on the workplace and we support around about 800 clients throughout the whole of the UK in most sectors. So we've got a lot of clients within the aviation, rail, construction, manufacturing, etc. Our testing service, which is obviously what we're talking about today, provides support 24/7, 365 days a year to our clients. And we can get called out at any point of the day to respond to a test following an accident or an incident, or where there may be a suspicion that somebody is under the influence. When those calls come through to us and an immediate response is required, we have 2 hours to get a collection technician activated and on site. So obviously time is definitely of the essence. We also support clients with scheduled testing, such as random testing and new starter testing. In 2017, we were acquired by Medigold Health, who are one of the largest occupational health providers in the UK, and have the same high standards and reputation within occupational health as we had in alcohol and drug testing. Following the acquisition, Hampton Knight retained its brand and identity due to its reputation within the alcohol and drug sector. And then during COVID, so the last 2 years, we pivoted quite quickly actually. So we managed to upskill our network of collection technicians to provide COVID testing to our clients. And during that period of time, we carried out around about 100,000 tests, COVID tests. But I'm sure we're all on the same page with this one, that as we move back into this year and trying to get back to some sort of normality, our focus is very much back on our core services of alcohol and drug testing. We've got some really exciting initiatives and product launches planned for this year, which will see us continue to grow and support more clients. And as part of that, obviously the focus will also remain on our collection technician network and attracting future talent to join our team. So on that note, I will hand over to Sam, who's going to talk us through what it is to be a collection technician.
Thanks, Jo. Okay, the role of a collection technician is one of the most important roles within Hampton Knight. Each and every one of our technicians play a critical part in the development and success of the company. Our technicians are trained to carry out alcohol and drug testing, including breath, urine and oral fluid. The role includes scheduled visits such as new starter and random testing, as well as call-outs, where we provide a 2-hour response time following an incident such as an accident at work. We operate a 24/7 service to our clients, ranging from construction, aviation, road, logistics and manufacturing, which provides them with peace of mind and you with the flexibility of working hours to suit your needs. We have structured our network so that our technicians are not required to travel more than 100 miles from home, which is approximately about 2 hours travel time. All you need to become a technician is a full UK driving licence, access to a vehicle, be well organised and comfortable with using web-based applications. This is for carrying out testing using via the use of a tablet. Some of our clients require the use of our mobile screening units. These are around the size of a transit van with facilities to carry out alcohol and drug testing. These can be driven using a normal UK driving licence. So, what training is required? Absolutely no experience is required for this role. We provide full training and equipment to carry out the role, including PPE, guidance for testing and products. The initial training is over 3 days, including a company induction. So on the first day, you get to meet members of other teams supporting the network, including an overview by HR. This is followed then by 2 full days practical training on alcohol, urine and oral fluid collections. Following successful completion, there is a phased introduction where our new starters shadow our experienced technicians, helping you gain the confidence required. But our training doesn't end there. We offer annual refresher training, online modules and additional one-to-one sessions if required. Our network. As mentioned previously, we offer our clients a 24/7 service with a 2-hour response time. Around 98% of our call-outs are currently met within the 2 hours. And our success in reaching this is due to the over 100 technicians placed nationwide, all with varying backgrounds, including transport, ex-forces, former police, nurses, logistical backgrounds, and many more. In terms of availability, we ask our technicians to provide this on a weekly basis for the week ahead. Obviously, circumstances can change, and all we ask is that you keep us updated. The more you're available, the more potential you have to earn. Keeping in touch is important for us. It is key we engage with our network. We do this via monthly calls, forums, drop-in centres, plus we had a dedicated team to support you. Okay, so now I hand over to my colleague Denise to give you an overview in the week of a life of a technician.
Thanks, Sam. Hello, everyone. I'm Denise and I live in the north of Lincolnshire, which is quite rural. So a week in my life as a collection technician could be completely different to a collection technician who lives around a near a city. My job basically involves going to work-based companies and testing employees for alcohol and drugs. It's very varied and it's really interesting, and I've met some great characters over the years. There are 2 types of jobs I could be asked to do and tend to. Scheduled testing, which mainly involves random testing or new starter testing. I know in advance what type of testing I'll be doing and how many people I will be testing on those jobs. And then the other is non-scheduled testing, when I will get a phone call and be asked to attend a site as soon as possible to test someone who may have been involved in an incident or accident at work, or who is suspected of being impaired by alcohol and or drugs. To test for alcohol, we use a handheld device similar to what the police use, And for drug testing, the employee either has to provide a urine sample or an oral fluid sample, depending on their company's policy. As Sam said, no experience is necessary and the training is very thorough. Although we work mainly on our own, there is plenty of support by the company and from the company. The procedures, the protocols that we use are extremely rigorous, they're robust and they're very, very easy and simple to follow. So no room for error. One of the benefits of the job is the flexibility. So we submit our availability in weekly. If I have a personal appointment that I need to attend, then I mark myself as unavailable. And I know that I will not be contacted during that period by the company. Otherwise, I put myself down as available 24/7. So once my availability has been submitted, something may change, obviously, and then I can contact the bookings team to update them. If I've got holiday coming up and I know I'm not going to be available for that 2 weeks or 1 week, whatever it may be, then I'll inform them in advance. While I am available, I know that I can be contacted at any time, night or day, for a call out. I've put myself as available, therefore I could be contacted at any time. However, my life is never on hold waiting for that phone call. I'm a very active and sociable person. So I've been called out many times while I've been at the gym, out at a Christmas lunch, or on a bike ride or shopping. I ensure my testing bag is always ready to go and I have some suitable clothing in the car if needed. However, I have turned up at site with a nice sparkly jumper after a Christmas lunch. Being organised and essential is really important. Over the 14 years I've worked for Hampton Knight and the last 5 years as a collection technician, nothing really has changed. The values of the company are the same. The only difference I would say being as the company has expanded, there is a lot more work out there now. So 5 years ago, again, being in the rural Lincolnshire, I would have only been called out, possibly out of hours, possibly 3 times in the year. Now it could be at least 3 times in a month. As Joe mentioned, over the past 2 years, something's happened. So I have also been COVID testing. I'm also trained as a hair tester as well. So I can go to companies and test employees by taking a sample of their hair to test for alcohol and drugs. The pay and benefits for working for Hampton Knight are very, very generous. So what I'm going to do now is take you through a week from my calendar that I extracted from a week from last month. So it started off Sunday, 7 o'clock at night. I had a call out to a kitchen company in York to alcohol and drug test an employee who had an incident at work. And I was home by 10 o'clock, so in bed, fine, no problem. Monday, I had a scheduled new starter test in Doncaster at 9 AM, and this was for a manufacturing company. On my way home from that, I got a call out to Scunthorpe to a steel logistics company where an employee had had an incident at work. I then went swimming, so I'm getting on with my life. At 3 o'clock then I got a call out to Scunthorpe to an energy company. This company routinely tests their employees after any incident. And I was back home for 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Tuesday, I am never available. It's my nanny duties day. I look after 2 small children, grandchildren every Tuesday, so I'm never available. So I put myself as unavailable for every Tuesday. Wednesday, I had an early start and was in Darlington for 7:30 that morning for a construction company. I was home in time for lunch, however, with my friends. And then that evening, I got a call out to hold to a train company. Thursday, there was no work for me, so no phone calls. And then Friday morning, I had a scheduled job in Hull. This was to do 8 random tests at a concrete company. I then had another scheduled job in Scunthorpe, a new starter test for a food company. I was home early afternoon and then had the weekend free then. Then the following week, what I've just explained, for me, that's probably a typical week, but the following week was a slower week. I'd only got 3 scheduled jobs, and I didn't have any call outs that week. So you can see that no 2 days, no 2 weeks are ever the same in my life. very varied, and it's a really interesting job. I really enjoy it. So over to Sylvia now. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Denise. Hi, I'm Sylvia, and I work as part of the people team here at Medigold Health. And the purposes of my section is to talk you through the company benefits that's available as an alcohol and drug technician, how you can apply for the role, and also how long we will retain your information once you have applied. We offer a comprehensive benefit package for our alcohol and drug technicians. So it includes competitive rates of pay in line with the type of testing that's carried out for scheduled or unscheduled work. And the rates of pay can also vary for in hours or out of hours work, therefore allowing you to boost your earning potential. We also pay for any other time, such as completing training or any refresher training, as well as other elements of the role, such as doing stock taking or postage drop off. Appropriate expenses will be covered as well, such as parking, mileage or postage, with a short turnaround of expenses being paid back to you within 2 weeks. You will have access to an auto-enrollment pension scheme where, as an employee, you can contribute 5% into your pension pot, and as your employer, we will contribute 4% into your pension pot. You also have the option to increase your pension, opt-in if you wish to do so. As a variable hour worker, you will accrue up to 31 days of annual leave every single year. So you can take holiday on a monthly basis, and that also includes statutory and public bank holidays. And our holiday year runs from the 1st of April. We also offer length of service increase. So the more years you work for us, the more holiday that you can have the ability to accrue. As a recap, this opportunity is completely flexible, so you can tell us when you're available, giving you the ability to choose your working hours. And of course, we seek as much availability as possible, but it does give you that autonomy to choose when you can work. We do offer a variety of health and wellbeing solutions here at Medigold Health. So that includes access to our employee assistance program for any specialist confidential counselling services or support that you may need. And that service is also available to family members. You also have the option to join our voluntary health cash plan scheme, allowing you to claim money back for any health expenses that you have. So for example, getting money back on dental costs or consultations or prescriptions. And this scheme can also be extended to family members. We have a range of interactive and wellbeing solutions that's available through our company benefits and discount portal, such as Thrive, our mental health and interactive wellbeing app. And you also have the opportunity to attend topical sessions about mental health, anxiety, and it also gives you lifestyle guidance as well. Through our company discount page, you'll get access to a range of retail discounts, rewards and vouchers, allowing you to save money and get cash back on a range of different goods. If you were to join Medigold Health, you are joining a company that's dedicated to learning and development, support and training. So there will be ongoing monitoring and compliance, just so that you can ensure that you do the best in your role and also to maintain higher standards in the company. So in terms of recruitment, you'll see the list of vacancies here on the right-hand side. So that's where all our current vacancies are. And if you are interested in applying for the role, you'll just need to scan the QR code on the next slide. It'll just pop up. So if you scan this code here on the slide, it'll take you to our company careers page. You can upload your CV and any other supporting documents, such as a cover letter. And then from the date of submission, we will hold on to your information for a period of 6 months. Just to let you know as well, there are other vacancies that you can apply for within Medigold. So even though that location that you may be based in is not there, that list is always actively being reviewed. So if you are interested in applying, please express interest, because we would love to hear from you. Thank you.
Brilliant, thank you. Thanks, Sylvia. Thanks, everybody. So I was just looking at the questions that have come through. So if we move on, and I'll ask some of those and open that out to the panel. So one of the questions that's come through is, I noticed that one of the role requirements is to have my own car. If I use my car for work, will it, this usually invalidates my insurance. What would you advise me to do?
Yeah, so as an alcohol and drug technician, you will need to get cover for business. So you just need to contact your insurance and get cover for business use as well.
Brilliant, okay. So one sort of a little bit around about flexibility. You've mentioned that the work-life balance is very flexible. If I'm unable to accept a few jobs in the week due to other commitments, will I be red listed or not offered more jobs as frequently as others?
Absolutely not. We do not contact our technicians that are marked as unavailable, as Denise mentioned. We do, however, have to monitor due to resource, but that's only in terms of whether we require recruitment in certain areas.
Brilliant, okay. Question about where the training will take place?
Yeah, based on where we're actually recruiting, as you can see from previous slides, we're recruiting in many areas. So what we try and do is kind of gauge where the local office is, generally Sheffield, Glasgow, Northampton and Plymouth.
Brilliant, okay. Lots of questions coming through now. So somebody's asking, is there a minimal amount of hours guaranteed?
No, it's a flexible variable working contract. So as we've mentioned before, and as Denise pointed out, no 2 weeks are ever the same. Sometimes you can have 2-3 jobs, and some days you might not get any through.
There's quite a few questions just around the list of areas where we've listed the areas where we're recruiting. Some people are saying that they're not in those areas. Will they stay on the list? I think some specific areas within the regions that we've put, so where we've put North London, some specific questions around that. Don't know if maybe Sylvia, do you want to just explain a little bit? You know, people are interested but maybe haven't seen their area on the list. What the best thing is to do? Yeah,
so the best thing to do is to follow that the link to apply for the role, and if within that 6 months that vacancy list is, you know, it is constantly being updated and reviewed, we will reach out to you in that time just so that we can build up a bank of candidates for those relevant areas as well. So even though your location is not there, we still encourage you to reach out to us so we can have your contact information in line with the retention times.
Brilliant, okay. Someone's just asking for clarity if it is a self-employed role. I suppose, yeah, do you want to just clarify that, Sylvia? Yeah, so it's not a self-employed role. When you join Medigold Health as an alcohol and drug technician, you will be an employee of Medigold. So yeah. Brilliant, okay. Maybe one for yourself, Denise. So someone's just asking about testing. Do we have many situations where somebody might become irate or aggressive, and what support is in place if those situations were to happen?
Yeah, do you want me to answer that?
Yeah, go for it, Denise.
I think in the whole time I've worked for Hampton Knight, and especially in the past 5 years as a collection technician, I could count on one hand how many times people have been aggressive with me or in my face, or and I can only really recall 3 that stand out. I think diplomacy and tact is essential in a collection technician, just to try and diffuse a situation. And there's always a manager on site. You've always got an on-site contact to call, and we do have a panic alarm device that we have on us at all times. But I've always myself been able to diffuse the situation. It's mainly the employee having a go at the company's policy, so not my fault. It's, you know, it's their company's policy. That's why I'm testing the person. So apart from that, maybe in the earlier stages, when an alcohol and drug policy was new to the company, there would have been more challenges. But as years have gone by, it's more commonplace now to have an alcohol and drug policy in the workplace. A lot more, and many more. I would say 99% of employees are now compliable to their policy, and they know that they get tested as they join the company.
Brilliant, yeah, great answer, Denise. I think we're just sharing the QR code link again. There's a couple of people just asking for that, so you can scan that from here. We will also be sharing the recording from today, so again you'll have access to the links and the copy of the recording as well afterwards. Okay, I'm just going through the questions. Question here: if you are already self-employed but would be looking at taking this role on in addition, would this be a problem? Sam?
Yeah, no, not at all. We have many technicians who have various commitments, own their own companies, various ventures. So no, there's absolutely no issue with that.
And then somebody just asking to clarify about mileage and if this is covered at the tax rate.
Yeah, so expenses are covered, including mileage as well.
Right. And then availability. So are you able to show yourself as available for, say, half a day, or do you have to show yourself as unavailable for the whole day?
No, so we have a system at the moment where it's hourly increments, 24 hours a day. So you can be available in the morning and then not available in the afternoon, and then mark yourself as available again in the evening. So it's up to you. Obviously, you work around your commitments.
Mm-hmm.
Can I jump in then as well? Sorry.
Yeah.
If I've got a dentist appointment for 10 o'clock in the morning, then I just put myself as unavailable for that 1 hour, 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
If I've got an appointment, say in the afternoon for 2 hours, then I've got a free spot from up until 11 o'clock till 2 o'clock. However, if anything changes, I just inform the bookings team straight away, and then I say, my appointment's cancelled, I'm now available. So, and it works very flexible that way as well.
Great stuff. Someone's asking about uniform, and if we expect our technicians to wear a uniform.
No, absolutely no uniform is required. We just ask for smart dress. So no Bermuda shorts and flip-flops. We could be going to sites with kind of quarries, so sensible clothing.
Yeah.
Again, can I just cut in there as well? We are issued with PPE as well. For some sites, it's a requirement to wear it. And if we get issued a high-vis jacket, but if we get to site and we need to wear a hard hat, then that's all glasses, protective glasses, then that's issued by the company that we're going to visit. So you may have to, I once turned up in very sensible dress, but a dress it was, but then I had to I put safety shoes on, an extra high vis on, protective goggles, and also a hard hat. So I looked quite smart with my dress underneath it all.
I think as well, it came up on a conversation that I was having recently about branding, and you know, it's a conscious decision that we don't sort of issue branded uniform, because obviously people clock on quite quickly that Hampton Night is an alcohol and drug testing service, and sometimes that can, obviously they see us pulling up and could be sort of exiting out the back door quite quickly. So as Sam and Denise said, we are quite discreet. Obviously we're professional looking, but we aren't sort of plastered in logos and branding when we get to site, so we are quite discreet. There's quite a few questions coming through just around sort of rates of pay, hourly rates, how travel time works, etc. Silver, I don't know if you want to maybe just try and summarise that, because I know it's sort of not as straightforward as just giving kind of flat rates out. Yeah,
of course. So we do offer competitive rates of pay in line with the type of work that you do. So that's if, for example, if you're doing scheduled or unscheduled work, and it can also vary if it's in hours or out of hours work as well. In terms of expenses, mostly the expenses are covered. So it does cover vehicle expenses, any postage costs that you have, or petrol, so that's covered. I did see a question about travel time, so that's also covered as well, and it also contributes to your working hours as well, just so that you can accrue that as part of your annual leave.
Mm-hmm. Brilliant. I can see we've just shared the list of the current vacancies. Somebody was just asking if you could share that screen again. So yeah, that's it there. Okay. So just some questions around the training, and if there'll be any qualifications gained whilst in the role.
Yeah, so we train all of our technicians to a Hampton Knight competency level. So that obviously allows you to carry out alcohol and drug testing for Hampton Knight.
Brilliant, okay. And what would my first week post-training look like?
Okay, so following the training, which is 3 days, a full 3-day course, we try and get you out shadowed as quickly as possible. So that is basically attending site with live testing with some of our technicians who are experienced. You can watch them, obviously observe the testing, and then once comfortable, you can actually say, okay, great, can I do some? Mm-hmm. There's no limit on the amount of shadowing. Usually it's anywhere between 1 to 3 sessions, and we generally find that most of our technicians are comfortable after the 3rd session. Yeah. Then what we do is, once you've shadowed in the first week, we then allow you, once you're comfortable, to go it alone, as we say. However, you're not alone. The support there is always there in the background. We start you off with smaller numbers to test. So we don't just throw people out there in the deep end. Full support is given to you. And then myself and my team will keep on track with you. We'll keep checking in. And then we do follow-up calls with all our new starters to make sure that they've got the training required and that they feel comfortable with the testing.
Fantastic. So the question just, excuse me, slowing down a little bit now, but there's just one that might be a good point to sort of wrap up, where somebody's just asking just to confirm the stages of the hiring process for the role. So obviously if they are interested, what they need to do and kind of what will happen from there. Yeah, so
yeah, okay. So yeah, once you've applied for the position, you'll be taken to, if you are successfully screened for the role, you'll be taken to a 1st stage interview, and then it's normally a 2nd stage interview as well, and then we'll make the role offer, and then following that, that's when we would kickstart our onboarding processes. So getting in contact with you, getting your availability and setting training dates, sending you your contract. So just continuous engagement from that offer stage. Do you want to add anything to that, Sam?
Yeah, I mean, the onboarding, luckily we've got a great team, including Sylvia in the people team. So onboarding is quite quickly from when you apply to when you actually join us. We don't like to keep people hanging around. So obviously we have hundreds of people that actually apply, so we can't get back to everybody. But those that we do screen and go for 1st and 2nd stages interviews, we give constructive feedback on those interviews as well. And then it takes about a week to 2 weeks to onboard. And then as Sylvia mentioned, you're given all the information, you're kept up to date with the training, the venues. We provide you with information beforehand so you can have a quick read through. And then there's a team, as I mentioned, a dedicated team on board to answer any questions that you may have before joining us as well.
Brilliant. I can see there's just a few more questions coming through just about the rates of pay and the hourly rate. Just to add a little bit more to that answer that we gave earlier. So we don't, for call outs and scheduled testing, we don't pay an hourly rate. So it's a standard rate that you receive for, obviously if you attend a call out at 2 o'clock in the morning, it's an enhanced rate that covers that job. Obviously you would then claim for expenses like your mileage, etc. on top of that. But I think, as we've said in some of the advertisement, we've got some technicians that are earning sort of up to about 30, 35k per year. Obviously those technicians are giving us really good availability, you know, attending a mixture of scheduled and unscheduled jobs. For other technicians that we've got, they are looking for this just to fit around other commitments. So obviously their earnings will be less. But it's quite difficult for us to say, you know, the hourly rate will be X amount, because we don't work in that way. It's a fixed amount that you get paid for attending, as I say, the scheduled or the unscheduled jobs. I don't know if you want to add anything else to that.
Yeah, can I add to that, Jo?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Just to say, you're never out of pocket at all. So all expenses are paid back to you and can be on a weekly basis if that's what you submit on a weekly basis. So if I go over the Humber Bridge, there's a toll to pay, and I with my receipts I get that back. Any postage, obviously, and I get paid to go to the post office as well, and I get paid to do my stock take every 2 weeks. So I don't feel that I'm ever out of pocket with expenses. In regards to getting paid myself, I was going to say it's how fast you work, but obviously you've got to make sure you're still following protocols properly and efficiently. But when I'm doing some of the types of testing I'm doing where I can chat to employees, you have to be aware of the situation that you're going into to be testing someone. But if it's a new starter, I like talking, so I get chatting to the person. So that rate of pay for that time, that test may be slightly less than maybe a test that I'm doing for cause, when someone's suspected of alcohol and drug impairment, where I just go in, be very professional, do the job and come out again. And I could do that a lot quicker rather than a new starter test or random test when I start talking to people and get to know a lot of people. So the pay is very varied. Some months I could earn over £1,000, some months, and this is in rural Lincolnshire again, I'm saying, but sometimes it could be well in advance of that, double plus that. So I hope that's okay.
No, that's great. I think that's the, you know, if we've got people on the call that are interested in the position, you know, the next stage is, you know, submit your CV. You'll have a call with Sam and her team, and we'll be able to explain more about, you know, I suppose the work volume in your particular area. As we said, you know, if you're applying in Inverness, it'll be very different to, you know, London, for as example. But we're quite honest and open about, you know, the potential earnings. We won't, you know, say that, you know, you'll be flat out for 7 days a week if that's not the case. But I suppose that is the beauty of this role, is that you can be as available or unavailable as suits you in your circumstances, really. But as I say, the next stage of the process is very much for us to kind of explain how the rates work, and obviously talk about the region that you're based within as well. Brilliant. So I'm just seeing if there's any others. So just a question that's just come through: what if my CV is based around a different career? So if they've got sort of a different background?
Yeah, it really doesn't matter. We've got everybody from ex-police to people that have perhaps not worked for a long time due to child commitments. Our network varies, so you don't need any experience. Full training is given. As I mentioned, our network, we've got people from logistic backgrounds, manufacturing, nursing, admin, you name it, we've got it. So no experience required.
And just a question about opportunities for growth promotion within this role.
Yeah, that's a good one, actually, because we hired a technician a number of years ago, and basically he's growing within Hampton Knight. He was a technician, he became a trainer, and is now our training manager. So there's definitely potential, and not just within Hampton Knight, within Medigold itself as well. There are lots of technicians who perhaps go on to be, work in occupational health or admin. So lots of growth potential.
Yeah, fantastic. So just conscious of time, we're coming up to 1:45. So just cover maybe one or two of these questions that have just come through. So do you respond to all applications?
We try to, Sorry, Sylvia. We obviously, as I mentioned, we have literally hundreds. So if you don't hear from us within a reasonable amount of time, then obviously do assume that obviously you've been unsuccessful at this stage. However, as I said, we do like to try and respond to as many, and quite quickly as well, especially for the areas that were shown previously where it's our priority locations. So if you do get to a first stage or second stage interview, we do come back to you with feedback and very quickly as well, because we don't like to keep people holding on.
Yeah. We would also encourage you to reach out to us. So if you haven't heard anything from us, or you would like some constructive feedback, then reach out to the team and we can review your application and, you know, share information about the next stages or any feedback that we can give to you.
Fantastic. Okay, so a couple of people are just asking for the link again of how to apply. So we've just put that screen back on. Somebody's just asking if they can't scan the QR code, can I apply by a link? Which I believe that is on the presentation, isn't it, Sylvia?
I can't see it here, but we will share a fact sheet following this to all our registered attendees with the link. But just to let everyone know, it is also available to our company's career page, but we will send everyone that specific link so you can apply and express your interest. Brilliant.
Okay. And just finally then, just a couple of people are just saying that they can't see any vacancies within their region. How often do vacancies become available? Is it still worth applying even if they can't see their region listed?
Yeah, we are actively recruiting, and it is actively being reviewed as well. So it's always being updated. So we just encourage you again just to review our careers page on a regular basis. But even if your location is not there, please do still apply if you think that you are suitable for the role. And if the opportunity does arise, we will reach out to you within that 6-month time frame.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
and also just follow us on. Oh, sorry, Sam.
No, just to add there, so far we've recruited a lot of people between like January and February. We are actually still recruiting, and we recruit basically every month due to the growth of the business. So yeah, it's definitely worth applying.
Fantastic. Okay, I can see we're still getting some questions through, but obviously we're just getting to the end of the planned time. So what we'll do after today is we'll share, as Sylvia said, the link to the presentation for today. We'll also put together a little FAQ document for any questions that we've not been able to answer. But no, that's it really for today. So thank you everybody for joining, and for those that may be listening back that weren't able to make the live session. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.